Hello, and welcome to this Equiem audio interview, a new series of audio content where we'll be speaking to people both inside and outside Equiem about some of the trends and themes impacting the tenant experience space. This week, I spoke to the COO of Guyana, Enrico Faccioli. In simple terms, Guyana creates technology that empowers anyone and any company to become a data scientist in moments. In this episode, Enrico outlines the potential for data and analytics within commercial real estate, as well as offering his tips to those looking to better harness the power of data. I hope you enjoy the interview. Hello, Enrico. Welcome. Great to have you in here.
Thanks, PJ, and thanks for having me.
Not at all. So, Enrico, we always like to start with a light question rather than going straight into the serious stuff. So, just to kick off, I'm sure you're aware the weather has been terrible in London the last 3 weeks. I know that you had a bit of a cold or something as well the last week. So, and now the clocks have gone back, so it's even worse. So I'm really selling the UK to people listening from overseas. My question to you is this: if you could go anywhere in the world right now and just escape the terrible weather, where would you go and why?
That's actually an easy one for me. I think I would actually go to Florianopolis, which is an island in Brazil. I went a couple of years ago.
Ah, very nice.
Really beautiful, cosmopolitan, and prop tech is booming in Latin America, so great place to be.
So you can combine your vacation with a bit of business as well.
Always.
That's very good. Always professional. There you go. That's a top tip from Enrico if you're looking for a holiday destination. So I just wanted to. I couldn't think of a neat segue from holidays into the rest of the interview, but maybe you could start by telling us a little bit about your background. How did you get into prop tech? And also, prior to Guyana, did you ever really consider the role that technology could play in property? Had that been a consideration for you?
Yeah, sure. So I have to say, as most people, I got into prop tech by accident. So after my master's in finance, started working at Legal & General in the real assets division. I soon realized how digital solutions could benefit a traditional sector like real estate. So I started helping out, building innovation groups, doing presentations, putting together a digital strategy, and trying out different PropTech solutions, especially in the data and analytics space. I have to say I was quite lucky to find a very supportive senior management team to let me experiment a bit and empowered me to make some changes in the organization. So that's really when I got in touch with Guyana, and the rest is history. So.
Yeah, absolutely. And had you, I guess, previously, it's impossible to say when you're kind of growing up, did you ever consider technology would have a role in property? But, traditionally, I guess when you think of property, you don't always think of technology. Had you ever really sort of thought the two could merge, or was Guyana the sort of light bulb moment for you? Or?
Yeah, even during my master's, I was always been comparing real estate and finance with the whole Bloomberg ecosystem. So having a platform, having a data solution that can, let's say, pull together all these different data sets in an integrating workspace where professionals can actually use this data in an efficient way. So that's where it came from, actually.
Yeah, okay. So let's start fairly broadly. I obviously want to ask a bit about what Guyana does specifically, maybe a bit later. But what role, just in broad terms, can data play in the commercial property industry? What kind of solutions can it provide to some of the challenges the industry faces?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think data is key. We all know that in every aspect of our life. It basically helps us to measure, analyze, and manage pretty much anything. So I tend to make a clear distinction between internal and external data. So for instance, the other day, as a good example, a US company reached out to me asking for some data on UK retail parks because they had no knowledge of the UK market. So in this case, data can augment the decision-making process. Basically, and this is external data to their organization, but you can also have some internal data coming from your building management system or your tenants database. So when you start merging internal and external data sets together, you can start doing interesting things like comparing your building's carbon footprint with other buildings nationwide and applying AI to optimize your emissions, for instance, or understanding whether your tenants are happier in your building than in others. And of course, this is only possible if you have a system in place that helps you with that, processes to clean, standardize, transform such data in insights, which needs to be digestible by non-technical people, really.
Okay, yeah. And so you talked about you touched on finance actually, and said that was obviously an area where you've seen maybe data work and be used effectively. What other industries are getting the data piece right? So is finance doing it right, and do you think it's really ahead of the curve in terms of is it further on than property is, do you think?
Yeah, I still think finance probably after the financial crisis in 2008, 2009 that they've been kind of moving ahead of the property industry for obvious reasons. They're probably 5 to 10 years ahead, but I still think, at the risk of stating the obvious, that tech companies, especially the so-called FANG, so Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, are a clear example of how data can be placed at the heart of your business, especially when you look at how they radically improved customer experience and personalization, which is, as you know better than I do, a hot topic in real estate recently. It's at the core of Equiem, Equiem business as well. So if you take Netflix, the Netflix or the Amazon of this world, for instance, they have pioneered the use of AI, machine learning, to tailor their services to consumer interest, really. But obviously, they're also a great example of what can go wrong with data, with the whole Cambridge Analytica scandal, privacy concern, that are making the headlines these days. So definitely pros and cons, but a lot to learn from as well.
Yeah. So if those guys go to the FANGers to the sort of sort of very ahead of what's happening in data and analytics, where do you think we're at in terms of commercial property? Are you encouraged by the kind of the rate of adoption? Or is there, I guess, maybe still a certain fear factor? Because like when we mention Equiem's analytics platform, some people really get that instantly. Some people you can still see you can still see the hair on the back of their neck stand up, a bit of fear in their eyes.
Yeah, there's definitely still that bit of a fear on advanced data analytics, but I'm definitely encouraged by the rate of adoption so far. It's been great to see, like in the last few years, how real estate professionals have started recognizing the role technology can play in the sector, and it's been really clear to me when I look at the wide range of clients we have at Guyana, despite being quite an innovative solution in a historically traditional sector like real estate. So I'm quite pleased, but there's still definitely some work to be done, especially on.
Have you seen the adoption rate grow particularly over the last couple of years in line with, I guess, the sort of buzz around the prop tech sector generally? Do you think the two are kind of matching each other?
Yeah, they are matching each other. So obviously, more interest means more hype. That of course needs to be followed through with actions. So on the buzz side, we're definitely doing a great job. On the actions, yes, we've taken a lot of actions, but still some work to be done.
That kind of conversion.
Conversion is still from hype to actual adoption. There's still some work to be done.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I guess in terms of getting from the hype and the buzz and the learning that people do at conferences when they hear about data and analytics to that point of conversion, what's holding some businesses back, from utilizing data and analytics in your experience? And how are you guys at Guyana trying to kind of convert the unbelievers who aren't sold on data quite yet?
Yeah, there are always unbelievers, but from what I've seen, I mean, there are some businesses that have great intentions and they want to solve some of their pain points, but they kind of lack processes in doing so. So, for instance, they don't have a digital strategy, they don't have a clear dedicated person, nor a budget, or most importantly, they have no idea on how to integrate a new solution into their existing workflow. So, I mean, generally, what we can do is helping by demonstrating how other institutions we've worked with have kind of integrated these solutions and get them more comfortable that they're not the guinea pigs and with our solution. So they normally get it, and they're more comfortable into adoption.
Okay. And so for I guess for people listening, or maybe sort of looking at this particular area of their digital strategy, their PropTech strategy, say what's your kind of top tip? Where do people start? If they've really never explored the potential for kind of analytics in their business or data in their business, where do they start? What's your kind of top tip for landlords, agents looking to embrace data?
Yeah, this is actually a good one. I've got a couple of tips
here.
Great.
Yeah, no, that's
great. On this, so you should always start with a problem, not really with the technology solution. Yeah. So we have a lot of people coming to us and say, hey, what can I do with AI? So it's that kind of approach, like going from the technology solution to the problem. While it should be, we always tell them what's the problem you're facing that we can help with. Another one is really start and focus on an outcome. A tangible outcome, kind of a low-hanging fruit first. That's always a great way to deliver value rather quickly, and getting people excited about that opportunity, because in the end, digital transformation is as much about people as much about processes. So you need to get your workforce excited and on board on this. And last one for me would be go to some tech events. And if you're a senior manager, just send your people to see some stuff in action. Not just PropTech though. As you can imagine, that there's a lot of innovation that comes from other sectors and other companies that you wouldn't classify as PropTech. So that will do the same for real estate. Think about the Amazon or the Google of this world disrupting different sectors and also real estate. So be open-minded and look out for trends, technology trends in general.
Yeah, fantastic. I was just thinking on the first tip, it was really interesting what you were saying about the fact that companies will often have heard of data, or in our case have heard of kind of our tenant experience technology, and it seems to be the sort of latest buzzwords. They think, I've got to do something, but they haven't really thought about the problem they're trying to solve, or or the outcome. And we always say exactly the same thing. Like what you should be. What are you actually trying to aim for here? Like, what's the problem? Do you have a problem communicating with your tenants or whatever? Great. Okay, we'll try and solve that. And I guess the same for you guys.
Absolutely.
You can't just employ this technology and tick a box. Yeah. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Guyana. How did Guyana come about, and how does your technology work? I guess you can take as long as you want, and but in simple terms, I'm a simple guy.
Yeah. So. in simple terms, what we've done at Guyana is we've built a technology platform that brings data science to everyone, in a nutshell. So it basically cleans, normalizes, pipelines data, and helps you analyze and perform machine learning techniques with no coding experience. That's really the USP. So if you think about the world we live in, the quantity of data generated is doubling in size every couple of years. We'll reach 44 trillion gigabytes by 2020. So especially with the whole IoT revolution, the number of devices connected to the internet are expected to reach 30 billion next year, according to McKinsey. So big numbers. And the problem here is that people who needs to access and use this data to generate insights for their business are not able to do so. And as we said, we need this data to do better investment decision or decrease carbon footprint of our buildings. But at the moment, we can't really access such a massive volume of data in one go. So data scientists are often spending 80% of their time cleaning and exploring data for the problem set out. And the remaining 20% is actually designing and building the machine learning solution. And this is because you need to slice and dice your data. You need to manage it in different workstations. You need to clean them in one place and put it in Python to do some machine learning, and then visualize it elsewhere. So it's just a very complex ecosystem and very complex process. So we thought, Well, if we make the data scientist life easier, this whole cycle of cleaning, exploring, deep diving, presenting the data gets shorter and super streamlined, that would be awesome. But more importantly, we're going to enable people to do a whole host of machine learning, AI on these data streams, even if you're not a data scientist or AI expert. So that really, regardless of the sector you're in. So having been in the space for the last few years with our geospatial tool before, we thought this is a natural next step with most people still stuck in Excel and not able to do data science with no coding experience, really.
And actually, I guess, for commercial property, which is obviously typically viewed as quite a sort of traditional industry, it's you kind of giving people the means to actually do something that's really quite advanced and quite technical, but make it very user friendly.
Exactly.
And quite dynamic.
Design is very important to us. So we want to have a whole drag and drop solution where if you're not an expert, a coder, you can still do a lot with our tool, and really we want to empower everyone to do the kind of analysis data scientists can do today with no coding experience. That's key to us.
Okay, final couple of questions. What is coming down the line for Guyana? Because I noticed that your website's completely changed. It's quite exciting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Clearly been hard at work on the marketing side as well. What's coming down the line for Guyana? What are you guys up to at the moment?
So at the moment we're super busy adding new features to our data science platform, but also super excited about an event we're organizing on the 19th of November. You might have seen on our website.
Yes,
if you had a look.
Adam's told me about this one as well.
Yeah, if you had a look. So it's Samsara, which is a very interesting Sanskrit word, and it's going to be an immersive data science day on the 19th of November. So it will be a series of talks. You will get exposure to cutting edge techniques and one of the world's biggest data science hackathon really that day. It requires no data science expertise to win. So there will be 100 teams from organizations like London Stock Exchange, Legal & General, KPMG, Oxford University, and many others will compete using our platform, our Guyana platform, on open datasets that we will provide. And the team that finds the most interesting patterns in the data by 4 p.m. will win £1,000, and also their nominated charity will win £1,000. So
wow, fantastic.
On the same day. So please, if you're interested in data or you simply want to know how it can benefit you and your organization, just register on our website. It's all free, and obviously free pizza and beer. That always helps.
Always a sweetener.
Always helps.
So if you're interested in data, then is that the details on your website?
Yeah. On our
okay,
website.
so head over to the Guyana website and find out a little bit more about that. I think we've hopefully got a team from Equiem going. I need to check that. But,
that should be one.
£1,000. Maybe I could go on holiday to Brazil.
That would be good.
Go and explore that. Okay, final question. What are your, and this is a really broad question, what are your kind of predictions or maybe your hopes for where Guyana is going and also where data is going in commercial real estate?
That's it. It's always a good one. I feel if I can make a 5-year prediction, but probably, hopefully, even before then. But I think in 5 years' time, it will be super normal for everyone to perform advanced data analysis on large data sets. And this will definitely benefit SMEs with low budget to kind of compete with the large institutions, but also will help everyone to solve some of the important battles we're fighting against, for instance, climate change or poverty, really some good causes. That's my hope for the next 5 years. And we as Guyana want to play a pivotal role on this.
Awesome. Enrico, thank you very much for joining me this morning. And if people want to kind of connect with you, you're on Twitter, aren't you, as well?
Yeah, I'm on Twitter and I'm also on LinkedIn.
Okay, awesome.
Happy to connect.
Grand. And say if anything has piqued your interest as you've been listening, do head over and check out Guyana's website, or do get in touch with me and I can point you in the right direction. But Enrico, thanks very much for coming in this morning. And for those of you listening, if you've enjoyed this Equiem audio interview, I think you'll almost certainly enjoy our first episode as well. That was with PropTech influencer and strategist Anthony Slumbers. So make sure to check that out. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time on Equiem Audio Interviews. Thanks, BJ.